Hi, welcome back for another lesson. Today's lesson is going to be a 1-4-5 with open chords in the key of A. In the previous lesson, I did a 1-4-5 with bar chords in the key of A. I consider that to be an intermediate lesson. When you're just learning how to play, bar chords are a little tough to fret. Open chords are a little bit easier. So this is probably going to be more for beginners. If you're learning how to play bar chords and learning how to use a 1-4-5, head on over to that lesson. So when we're talking about a 1-4-5, we're talking about chords in a specific key. Our key today is A. The one chord is A. Whatever key you're in, the one chord is named after that key. So A, key of A, one chord A, key of E, one chord E, and so on. And then you count up 4 starting on A using the alphabet. So you got A, B, C, D. D is going to be our 4 chord. Our 5 chord is going to be E, and then back to A. All right, well, there's 2 ways to play your A chord. It's going to be the same voicing, same position, just using your fingers in a different way. So you can bar across using just your pointer finger, which is what I do. And then you can use your fingertips, so your 3 fingers, which is going to be your pointer finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger, and then you're just going to place them onto the 2nd fret, strum the same way, and that's just another way to play your A chord. That might be a little easier if you're just learning how to play. That's probably the picture that's in your method books, and it's probably because you can really squeeze it down. Here, it takes a little more strength and a little more feel. But if you get that down and you're playing electric, you can add some rhythm to it like I just did there. That's a little harder on using your fingertips. It's not impossible, but it just feels a little bit better for me. Alright, let's go over how to play that. First with the fingertips, and then I'll just show you how to bar it. It's fairly easy. Okay, so you're going to take your pointer finger, and it's going to be kind of close to the 1st fret, and you're going to fret the D string. Our A string is going to be, we're going to strum the A string, but it's going to be open, so that means you don't fret it. And that A string is our root note, so that's our A note in our A chord. Then you're going to put your 2nd finger kind of close to the 1st fret, but it's going to be in the 2nd fret, if you see what I mean. So I'm in the 2nd fret, but it's kind of closer to our 1st fret, so that's to fit your other 3 fingers in there. Next is going to be your middle finger on the G string, 2nd fret. It's going to be right next to your pointer finger. And then finally, you're going to squeeze your ring finger in there on the B string, 2nd fret. And the strings you're going to strum is everything down from the open A, or open E, sorry. So you're not going to hit that open E, but you are going to strum that open A, and then D, G, B, and you can hit that open E if you want to. You don't have to, but that note is in the chord. If you're not hitting that, if you're just strumming the thicker strings, that's a nice sound too. Now to just lay your 1st finger across, which is your pointer finger, it's fairly simple also. You're just laying it across that 2nd fret. You're not going to play your high E on this one. I would not recommend that. Just deaden it or just don't strum it. So you got your open A, and then you're going to just bar across D, G, and B. And that's it. If that's dead, that's perfectly fine. I'm saying don't play that because that's an F sharp note. Right? And that is not in the chord of A. It's not an A chord. An A chord is comprised of an A, a C sharp, and an E. F sharp's not in there. F sharp is in the key of A, so you don't have to worry about that. Our next chord is going to have an F sharp in it, and it's our D chord. So to play this one, you're going to take your pointer finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the G string, and then you're going to take your ring finger, it's going to be 3rd fret of the B string, and then your middle finger is going to be high E 2nd fret. So the way I think of it, you got your pointer finger and you got your middle finger on the G and E strings. Do you see that? And I was just plucking G and E strings. And then your ring finger kind of just goes in between them on that B string. And for a D chord, you are strumming that D string. So that's the 3rd string down. You got E, A, D. So you're not strumming the E and A. You are strumming that D with the rest of the chord. Okay, and now on to our 5 chord, which is E. So the E, you're going to have that open E. That means you're not fretting it. You're going to take your middle finger. You're going to put a 2nd fret A string. Again, that's probably going to be in the middle of your fret because your next finger, your ring finger, is going to be 2nd fret D string. And that's going to be right next to the 2nd fret. If you can see that. So open, middle finger 2nd fret, and then ring finger 2nd fret. Then you're going to take your pointer finger, put it on the 1st fret, and that's going to be on your G string. Okay, so far we have open string, E, 2nd fret A, 2nd fret D, 1st fret G. And that's going to be with your middle finger on the A string, ring finger on the D string, pointer finger on the G string. And then the B and E are open and you do strum. You strum every string on the E chord. If you're playing an electric guitar and that's a little too just twangy for you, you don't have to strum the high B and E. It's still gonna give you that E sound. Another thing you can do is play an E 7th chord. So 7th chords have 4 notes in them. Regular chords, we call them triads. Not regular, but you know, they're common. They have 3 notes in them, root, 3rd, 5th. 7th chords have 4 chords in them, root, 3rd, 5th, and then the 7th. But how you play that and why it's important is you can hear, hopefully, a lot of tension in that chord. This E7 really wants to go back to the A, and it just has a nice sound to it. Pretty bluesy too. Alright, and what you do there is you play a regular E chord. You just take your pinky, put it on the B string, 3rd fret, and that's it. And then you would strum every string for sure. Alright, that's just another chord to play with. Okay, and that is a 1-4-5 in the key of A with open chords. Some songs you can play with that. The first things that come to my mind is That's Alright Mama by Elvis Presley. And that's just A, D, to E, back to D, and back to A. If you look up the chords, there might be a D7 in there, but you can just still play a D. And then the other one that comes to mind is 20 Flight Rock by Eddie Cochran. Both of these are songs from the 50s. 20 Flight Rock might be from 1960, I'm not entirely sure. But it's just a great, great old rock and roll song. It's definitely more of a riff, but the chords are there. So you start off with A, you're just sliding into it. And then D, and then E, and then back to A. You can just play with the chords. I will post a lesson on both of those songs, though, because I really, really like those songs. If you've never heard them before, That's All Right Mama, again, is by Elvis Presley. It's a very, very early Elvis Presley record. It might be from his first session with Sun Records. And then 20 Flight Rock is just a great old rock and roll song by a guy named Eddie Cochran. Eddie Cochran is a fantastic guitar player, really influential to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, The Who, Led Zeppelin. And it's actually the song that Paul McCartney played for John Lennon to get into the Beatles. So really look that up. So 20 Flight Rock by Eddie Cochran, and then That's All Right Mama by Elvis Presley. Okay, I believe that's it. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.